Happy Memorial Day yesterday. I hope everybody had a good weekend and a nice Memorial Day yesterday, and everybody's doing well. We are going to continue with volume today, but we're going to be looking at the volume of a pyramid, which is a little bit different. So, to start off, just like we talked about last week, volume is the amount of space inside a three-dimensional figure, okay? And it's always measured in cubic units. Okay, so the units are always going to be whatever units it are, cubed. Okay, so the formula that we're going to be looking at here is volume of a pyramid, which is 1/3, and then this big B, this stands for area of the base. Okay, and the base is going to be a shape. Okay, so we'll talk about that when we look at these, and then times the height of the whole entire figure. Okay, so for example, in this first problem, your base is going to be this rectangle here on the bottom. So for our formula, we're going to do area of the big base, okay, which is the rectangle, times the height of the figure times 1/3. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is fill in my formula for area of a rectangle. So since the base is a rectangle, and again, the big B stands for area of the base, I'm going to be doing base times height, which for this rectangle is 23 times 14. Okay, so this is all just for the big B here. Okay, so I'm going to bring everything else down. So 1/3 times 23 times 14 times the height of the whole entire figure, which is this 25 here. Okay, and then I'm going to just multiply that all out in my calculator. So 23 times 14 times 25 times 1/3 gives me about 2,683.3 repeating yards cubed. Okay, so this is the volume of that pyramid. All right, so same thing for the next pyramid. Okay, except this base, if you guys see, is a triangle. Okay, so now when I write out my formula, again, that big B stands for the area of the base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in the area of the formula for area of a triangle, because my base is now this triangle here. Okay, so I know that area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So this triangle would be 1/2 times 8 times 6. And again, that's only for the big B so far. So everything else I'm going to bring down. So this 1/3 I'm going to be multiplying by, and then the height of the whole entire figure here is this 10. And again, I'm just going to go ahead and multiply this all in my calculator. So 8 times 6 times 10, and then times 1/2, and then times 1/3. Okay, and that's going to give me 80 feet cubed. Okay, so a lot of what you're doing depends on the base of the figure here. All right, so let's try another one. So number 3, okay, again, my base here is a rectangle. So when I do my formula, I know that the area of a rectangle is just base times height. And in this formula, it's 8 times 14 in this shape. Okay, everything else comes down. So the 1/3, the height of the whole entire figure, which is 11. Okay, so again, this big B is area of the base, which is base times height for a rectangle, which is 8 times 14. The height is the height of the whole figure, and then the 1/3 is just part of the formula. So I'm going to do 8 times 14 times 11 times 1/3. If you don't know how to do times 1/3 on your calculator with the fraction button, you could also do divided by 3. That would be the same thing. So this is going to give me 4,000, or sorry, not 4,000, 410.67. Okay, and this would be centimeters cubed. All right, so same thing for number 4. Okay, we're going to look at the base here, which is a triangle. Okay, and my formula is 1/3 area of the base times the height. So for a triangle, my formula is a half base times height. So I'm going to plug in 1/2 times 4 times 3. Okay, this height is the height of the whole figure, which is 4. And then the 1/3 just comes down as well. So I'm going to multiply this all together. So 4 times 3 times 4. Okay, and then times 1/2, or you could do divided by 2, it's the same thing, times 1/3, or divided by 3 would be the same thing to get you 8 inches cubed. All right, so last one here, this tells us a triangular pyramid has a base shaped like a right triangle. Okay, so when I write out my formula, they're telling me that the base is a triangle. So right away I know it's the 1/2 base times height. Okay, so it says the legs of the right triangle are 12 and 6 inches long. So that gives me my base and my height. And again, this is just of the area of the base. Okay, my 1/3 I can just bring down, and it tells me the pyramid's height is 9 inches, which is my height here. Okay, so I'm just plugging that all into the formula. And I'm going to multiply 12 times 6 times 9. And then again, times 1/2 or divided by 2, times 1/3 or divided by 3. And it's going to give me 108 inches cubed. Okay, so the same formula for all of these. However, it kind of changes based off of what the base of the pyramid is. So if it's a triangle, make sure you're doing 1/2 base times height. If it's a rectangle, make sure you're just doing base times height. So go ahead and highlight anything you have questions on, and we can go over it tomorrow. I hope everybody is having a good day, and I will see you soon. Bye.